when I go to sew this first row, I'm gonna take the first two and I'm gonna flip the second one over to the first one, and I'm gonna sew down there. And then I'm gonna take the first two from the second row, and the third row, and the fourth row, and the fifth row. And I'm gonna keep them all in order like that. So I'm gonna sew the first two together in each row. I'm gonna stop, and I'm gonna take the first two from the second row and put them right sides together. And I'm not cutting my thread in between. I'm just gonna put that in, and I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to do the same with the third row. And the fourth row. Now that's the end of the fifth row, so I'm going to cut my thread. And I've got all five together in a chain. So we call this chain piecing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to that first row. I'm going to open it up. And I'm going to take now the third square from my pile. And I'm going to place it right side together on top of that one. And I'm going to sew that all the way down the row, so that the third pieces are on there, and then I'm going to cut my thread. I'm going to go back to the top, I'm going to do my fourth one, and then my fifth one. So I'm going to keep following that all the time. So I'm going to end up with chains of 5 squares in a row, and I'm not going to cut the threads in between at all. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to press. Sewn together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the seams now. So see, this is all still connected in our chain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the seams to the sides, but I'm going to alternate the direction with each row so that my seams will nest nicely when I go to sew the rows together now. So I'm just going to press them nice and flat. And what I like to do is I like to press this direction, not this direction. So I do all of those first. The middle one, and then I'll do this last one. And because I don't like to go that way, I just pick this up and I flip it around, and then now I go back and I do those 2 that I missed. There, now it is all nicely pressed. And I'm going to begin sewing the rows together now. So what I'm going to do is going to work out really nicely is I'm going to just flip the top one over, and I'm going to nest my seams. So if you feel like you need to use pins, you could put pins in on each seam to hold them, but they will snap into place. So I just sew slowly and I make sure that my seams are lined up, and I'm going to now go ahead and I'm going to sew my rows together while they're still all connected. This is called web piecing, and it's a really quick way to get everything together with your seams nested and matching up really nicely. Press these seams open, but before I do that, I need to clip the little threads that are from our web piecing. So I'm just going to use my little scissors to clip that. And then I'm going to take my iron and I'm going to just use my fingers to open up the seam. Press the seams open so that they lie nice and flat. So I'm going to do that for all of the seams. Our pillow top, we're going to set that aside. Now we're going to work on the back of the pillow. So I've cut 2 pieces for the back of the pillow out of some other fabric that I want on the back. They are both 20 inches tall and 15 inches wide. And I've got 2 pieces like that. What I'm going to do is we're going to be finishing the edges that are in the middle. So we're going to fold up about 1/2 inch on the long edge and press that all the way down. And then we're going to fold it up again and press it again. And then we're going to take it to our sewing machine. We're going to top stitch this edge down all the way so that we have a nice finished edge for the middle. And we're going to do the same thing with our other piece. Alright, so now you can see I have top stitched both of those 2 backing pieces. So now we're going to finish our pillow top. So we're going to take our pillow that we have made, and I think I wanted it to be in this direction, so that's going to be right side up. And then I'm going to take my first panel, and I want the finished edges to be going towards the middle, so I'm going to just take this and line it up here as close as I can to the edges. Other piece and line that up as close as I can to the edges. It doesn't have to be perfectly lined up. And then I'm going to pin these in place. Take it to my sewing machine. I'm going to sew all the way around the perimeter of my square, and I'm just going to, with my needle down, I'm going to pivot in the corners. And then I'm going to go back and reinforce these spots right where these openings are, because sometimes with pulling it to put the pillow in, they can become loose. So I'm going to reinforce those a little. Now to finish it off, you're just going to want to go and clip the corners, but not clip through your stitching. And then you're ready to turn it inside out.